How do you follow up last week's R-rated Space Fluids episode? Well, how about a G-rated Muppet movie, of course? Welcome to Half-Ass Movie Podcast. Welcome back, you dirty babies. It's time for another Half-Ass Movie Podcast, a show where we put together a half-ass theme as an excuse to watch movies. My name is Adam Portress, and joining me today, he's just Sam the Eagle incarnate, Sweet Sean Kovacs from the internet.
Come on, fellas. Take me to my leader.
And he's still upset about the lack of Camilla's screen time, Bruce Leslie.
I'm 230 pounds of cold steel and sex appeal. Let's get this done.
Yes, sirree, Bob, everybody. It is Sean Loves Spaceships Month, and we're going to space with Muppets from Space. I'm going to screw the title up, I'm sure, many times, because it feels like you should be like Muppets to Space, but we technically do not go to space in this. We have people coming from space.
It's the escape from Witch Mountain problem.
Yeah, I'm just going to say, like, right off the bat, I thought it was Muppets in Space, and the difference between in and from is a real big difference.
There is a lot of difference there.
We see a spaceship or two in this, so at least we're covered under the spaceship laws that, proceed. Well, I don't know. We really made up those spaceship laws like just 2 seconds ago, so I don't really know that I'm... Anyway.
What are you talking about? There's spaceship laws?
Yeah, it's like the show. In order to be included within Sean Loves Spaceships, there needs to be a spaceship, I would imagine.
You guys, you got to let me in on this.
Do we not have the Oh, I'm sorry.
It's the first time hearing of it, too, but it makes sense. I just thought you had to have the word space, somewhere in either the title or the description.
Space adjacent, that's fine. But listen, I mean,
there is a spaceship in it. There is a spaceship in it, and there is a moment where we're in space. A few moments.
That's true. That's true. I mean, like, listen, I'm not trying to discount this right away. We got a great show to gear for us, everybody. But before we jump into all of that, we do want to remind you that this show streams live over on YouTube and Facebook. Join us Sunday evenings around 8 p.m. Come out, hang out in the chat. Let us know, your thoughts on the movies that we're covering here and everything. So we'd love to hear from you, everybody. And while you're there, check out our all the other videos that we've got over on YouTube, especially my new SVS 5000 Revolution review is finally up. It's taken me quite some time to put that together, but I'm quite proud of what I put out. I think we put out a good little piece of kit there, and I honestly, against a lot of the other home theater channels, we all right over here, I think. But we got more of that kind of stuff coming down the pipeline here, and so really appreciate you guys going out, watching those, giving the likes and all that kind of good stuff. And why don't you watch our full edit videos? I'm going to be honest with you, boys. I didn't make a full edit video last week. You want to know why?
Why?
Because my audio sucked ass.
So it wasn't worth the time.
Brother, I tried to go through and doctor and edit, and it was like, what an entire mess and a half that was. So I do want to apologize for the horrible audio quality last week. I went out and bought this new $200 microphone that not only has XLR, but also has USB. So if this board dies again, your audio quality will not suffer here on HMP. Only it will just suffer in my heart for that episode, because I will not ever want to go back and listen to that damn thing.
I've been there, done that, man. It hurts.
It's a tough one, but we need your help. That's what I'm saying here is like, comment, and subscribe so this gets out to more people so I can pay for this damn microphone, okay? That the dog needs some food. So just, do all those fun things. We really appreciate all you guys. It is September here, and we've gotten over 350 new subscribers in the month of September so far. Numbers are up, views are up, revenue is up, everything is up. Thank you to you guys for doing that and help keeping this show flowing, man. We really appreciate all of you guys out there. And if you really, really love us, why don't you go over to patreon.com/HMP. Get yourself pre-show, post-show, and Dinger Zone. Dinger Zone this week, everybody. We are doing top 5 extras who stole the scenes in movies. So should be a pretty good one here. This was actually given to us by Ollie. Ollie suggested that we should cover this one. So we're like, hey, man, we will always take suggestions from the folks over at patreon.com/HMP.
Topic ideas is a great, you want to throw some our way, please.
Thank you.
And we love listener submitted top 5s too, which Ollie gave us. So you'll want to stick around for the Patreon.
Yeah, so stick around that for the Patreon on the live feed. We really want you guys to check that out and everything. After the show is finished and everything, come Monday, that portion is going to be chunked out, but you can hear the rest of that over at patreon.com/HMP. Join up at any level and become one of the fancy dirty babies that are out there with us, and we really appreciate all of you guys. Thank you so much. All right, gentlemen, we are rocking and rolling yet again here with the Muppets from Space. Here's the IMDb plotline for Muppets in Space. As we know, IMDb always 100% correct in everything they say and or do. Gonzo is contacted by his alien family through his breakfast cereal, but when the Men in Black kidnap him, it's up to Kermit and gang to rescue Gonzo and help him reunite his long-lost family. This is written by Jerry Jewell, who wrote tons of Muppet movies and TV shows and stuff like that. We got Joe Marzano, who did tons of Sesame Street, and Ken Kaufman, who, get this, he did In the Army Now, right, as you know, one of the greatest classics of all time. Then he went on to Muppets from Space, followed that up with Space Cowboys. Then he did The Missing with Ron Howard, and then he wrote the Curious George animated movie in 2006. But then he took 6 years off, and then he dropped, that's right, The Expendables 2.
Wow.
He's a man of many dimensions.
What a crazy guy. I love that dude.
Wow.
This is directed by Tim Hill. He helped develop the SpongeBob television show, so he gets tons of credits on SpongeBob stuff. I cannot even start to imagine how much money that dude has.
All of it.
It got to be amazing.
This was Tim Hill's directorial debut, and I couldn't imagine a more difficult, first-time director's job than to tackle a Muppet project, because there's got to be literally, I'm not saying this figuratively, literally so many moving parts.
Oh, yeah.
When Muppets are involved.
This is starring...
These aren't just your run-of-the-mill puppets. These are Muppets.
Yeah, they're special. This is starring, I'm going to screw his name up, but Dave, is it Golez? Sure. Steve Whitmire, Bill Burrata, Kevin Clash, Frank Oz, kinda. Jeffrey Tambor, Rob Schneider, Ray Liotta, F. Murray Abraham, Andy McDowell, Pat Hingle, and Hulk Hogan. What more could you ask for, really?
I mean, you had me at Hingle.
Yeah.
I'll see anything Hingle's in.
The kids these days, as we have always said since Burton's Batman and everything, kids love Pat Hingle.
Now, these Gen Z kids and their Pat Hingle tattoos, it's all going to look ridiculous when they're older.
Can't get enough of it. Well, it's 1999, which is the thing about this movie that I found more surprising than anything was the year that it came out. 1999. I was like, why didn't I see this movie before? And then when 1999 happened, it was like, oh yeah, I was watching The Matrix and Fight Club and American Beauty, and I was like, you really
there's a Star Wars thrown in there.
Yeah, I'm 17 years old. We're really getting into that kind of film nerd category here. I'm going to see Blair Witch Project. That's the era I'm in. Muppets, I'm so far out from that at this point.
Also, we still got a little bit of that 90s edge going on. In Muppets, there's no edge with Muppets. Come on, man. If you're a 90s kid, you're not going to go see the Muppets. That's for square 80s kids like me and Sean.
You're also doing it wrong if you put an edge to the Muppets. And I know that they tried that a few years back, right? And it failed miserably.
That thing like The Office that they made?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
It was really not good. It had moments because I watched a couple of episodes of it just because I wanted to see what they were doing, and they got the themes of of a few of the characters wrong. Like Kermit hated Miss Piggy and stuff like that, and I was like, "This is not at all what the Muppets is supposed to be."
Fozzie working real blue.
Yeah, I've watched at least 2 attempted Muppet Show reboots. The one that we were just talking about, like the Office style one, and then they also tried this other more sketch based one that didn't work for me either. So, yeah, when it comes to Muppets, I think they were at their best in their original form. Just like everything, man. I'm becoming that old man who's stuck in the past.
Back in my day, our Muppets only had 3 people's hands up them. That's it. No more, no less. That is one of the things, is that this is kind of that transitional Muppet thing. You really, you can feel a lot of the DNA still there. And that's kind of the nice part about this movie, is that it does feel like they actually still care while they're making this. It may not be the top tier that they've been doing previously, but it doesn't, at least as far as from a production standpoint and everything, doesn't feel like they're phoning it in real big.
Oh, I think I might disagree just a little bit, because I was thinking of the phrase that at times this feels a little phoned in.
At times,
wow, really?
At times maybe, but
I don't think that at all. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think particularly from a story point of view, like if you make this story with off-brand Muppets, there's nothing here for me. I mean, it's not a great story, and it's a matter of taste. Some people may love the story. It's not like something that's either good or bad. A matter of taste. This one just didn't work for me very well, and it just felt uninspired, I guess I would say.
Well,
that's coming from me.
I think I know why. I think I know why you have a bit of an issue with this movie. It's the same issue that anyone who watched the Muppet Show originally has a problem with this movie, which is that there is a very, very famous sketch from the Muppet Show that it seems like the perfect time to bring that out, which is Pigs in Space.
Of course. Or at least a cameo somewhere in here, like right at the end, then the Pigs in Space come in. Like, how fun would that have been? Yeah.
Well, that's what I wanted was, I wanted Star Wars or Star Trek, because a Muppet movie has a formula. You either take a genre or sometimes a specific story like Wizard of Oz or A Christmas Carol or what have you, and you Muppetize it. And I would have much rather a Pigs in Space style Muppetization of Star Wars, which was kind of a hot property in '99, but no, we're going to go with Close Encounters because yes, Close Encounters was kind of a cultural touchstone for a while, but I think by '99 it was starting to lose kind of its cultural
Are
impact,
you telling me that it gets culturally insignificant more so 30 years separated from its original thing? That's what you're telling me. All right. I mean, I guess if that's the route you want to go.
It's a weird
more
thing
so than Star Wars.
It's a weird thing with Close Encounters because that's like the for some reason forgotten in time Spielberg movie of like just like huge giant movies where Close Encounters, it's impossible to think about now, but Close Encounters was a gigantic movie when I was a kid. And now it's basically just like, oh, this is a really good Spielberg movie. It's an also movie for Spielberg. But I think that the fact that the Muppets are using that for basically like, oh, we'll work around that plot, but also Gonzo for this movie. And that's kind of where they decided, because they even have the moment where they bring out the plate of mashed potatoes. Like that's even in this. And so having that in '99 seems a little late. However, I have a take on the Muppets that it's my own. I don't know how it's going to fall. It goes like this. I think that the Muppets is one of those properties where the best way I can describe it to you is, do you guys remember when the guys, the company that made Avatar: The Last Airbender, they then made Voltron for Netflix?
Oh, yeah.
The cartoon. Yeah. And like, I know that the first 2 seasons of that are really great for what that show is. Like they really kind of made a really great show. As it moves on, it's lesser than, but that first season in particular, I remember people saying to me like, it's actually really great. And the way that they described making the show was, we're not trying to remake the old Voltron show. We are trying to make what people think the old Voltron show was. Yeah. And that is what they achieved with that first season. When it comes to the Muppets, look, I love the Muppets as much as anybody. You heard me say at the top of the show, I've watched every incarnation, even if it's just a few episodes, just because I want to see what they're doing. I just find them fun and wholesome, and and I have a couple of gaps. But when it comes to the original movies, there is a Voltron-ness to the original movies to me, where like you remember these movies being really great. But when it comes to the first Muppet movie, Muppets Take Manhattan, The Great Muppet Caper, the part that I always forget when I go back around and circle back to see those movies is just how many musical numbers are in those movies. Like, yes, you remember from the first Muppet movie, Rainbow Connection, and maybe Moving Right Along, but there's also 10 other musical numbers in that movie that for someone like me who doesn't like musicals, I find that a very hard watch. And so whenever it comes to like when Adam, you had presented, we should watch Muppet Christmas Carol. And I can remember distinctly when you said that, I was like, ooh, well, I've never seen it. Sure, I'll watch it. And it's great. Like Muppet Christmas Carol is amazing. And the reason why it's so amazing is there isn't 15 musical numbers in it. I know that there's musical numbers in it, but not nearly as many as there are in the original Muppet movie. And so it's one of those things where there's a period of time with the Muppets, and I think that Muppets from Space is part of that time. I don't know where the timeline starts because I have holes in my Muppet knowledge, but where they decide, and I think it's after Jim Henson is no longer with us, where the movies decide we're not just going to be a Muppet musical movie anymore. Like we're actually like trying to tell full stories with Muppets, blah, 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 yakety smackety. And so when I watch something like Muppet Christmas Carol, Muppets from Space, which also has a musical number in it, but just one that I think just one. What? But it's one of those things where again and again, I'm always surprised when I see like something that would be called modern Muppets. Like I would consider Muppets from Space to be modern Muppets, which is crazy because it's 99, but it is. And so when you watch something like this, I'm always surprised by like, oh, I really enjoyed that. Like watching it, I was like, this was really fun. Is it great? No, but it's the Muppets, you know, and they kind of have that sheen to them now where it's sort of like Mickey Mouse. Everybody loves Mickey Mouse. No one can pinpoint a really great Mickey Mouse cartoon or TV show or movie that they've seen. Nobody can, because that doesn't exist. Like, unless you're going to say something like Fantasia or something.
But that's not a Mickey show. He's just in it.
He's in it.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's kind of the thing with the Muppets now, too, which is like, if they do a cameo in something, it's killer. When you see Kermit do a talk show and he's kind of standoffish to the hosts, that's amazingly funny. But that is small pieces. And so when you're doing an hour and a half long Muppet thing, that's kind of the secret sauce to that Muppet movie that came out a couple of years ago. Now, what, 10 years ago now?
Yeah, wow.
Is that the one with Krasinski?
No. That's with
the one before that. The one with dude from How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah, that's Jason, who I meant. Jason.
I'm blanking on his last name.
Siegel.
Siegel. There it is.
Thank you, Bruce Leslie.
3 old men in a room trying to come.
No kidding.
Who's the guy that's our same age?
You know, the lady with the lady hair.
And the Jason Siegel movie is incredible. It's the best Muppet movie that's ever been made, in my opinion. It's better than the original Muppet movie, in my opinion, because I can watch it from start to finish, and it's great.
I know intellectually that you're 100% correct that is a better movie. But like emotionally, I don't want that to be the case.
No,
yeah,
I'm with you there, man. Like I don't want to be right. It's just I know how I am reacting to all of these things that are Muppets, where it's like the TV shows aren't working, the movies are fine, but the Muppet, when that new Muppet movie came out with Jason Siegel, I was like, am I the biggest Muppets fan ever? Because I love that movie.
But it had a good musical number.
It has
several. Yeah.
There are many musical numbers in that, but they're creative and they're fun. And it's not just like warbling, which is what a lot of the first Muppet movie is there's so much like pining and, you know, just like super emotion in it.
Yeah.
Whereas in the new Muppet, 10 years old new Muppet movie, it's because it's fun.
You know, he wrote some really good songs for that too. That's the big thing, is he was a giant fan, and he's like, I'm throwing my love of all of this stuff in there. And the funny part was like forgetting Sarah Marshall, how we kind of get a little puppet thing in the beginning, and then when you're like, he's going to do the Muppet, it's like, motherfucker, this is going to be great, dude. I am so excited. And then he goes in and just absolutely nails that thing, dude. It's just perfect marriage made in heaven there.
I thought it was going to be the start of something. I was surprised he didn't follow it up with another one.
Well, they did do another Muppet movie after that, and it's
Siegel?
just no.
Okay, that's what I meant, was that relationship.
It's with people within the Muppet universe made that movie, and it has Tina Fey in it, and it has a couple other people in it that I just adore their work. So I think I missed that one. I'm gonna check this out, and I did, and it's just not even close to the same.
Yeah, I totally missed that.
Yeah. And I think that, so to go back to Muppets from Space, I was surprised because I know that this is like the no man's land of Muppet time, 99 specifically. Like they're not, no one is like, man, I really want to see a new Muppet movie. Not in 99, they're not. And
like Henson's gone. The guy who played Skeeter is gone. So you've had two major deaths within the clan here and everything. But like I said, there is something in there because you can still see a lot of the craftsmanship from the people that are doing this thing. So the people that are around them are still plenty working at what I would call a great pace here. Their stuff looks good. The production value on everything they're doing. And I say that because there's so many little scenes that could easily just be kicked on the floor that there's no real reason for, but they do them because they put together all these little bits and stuff. And it's for jokes.
The best puppeteering in this entire movie, rightfully, they did it correctly, is in the beginning of the movie when you're at the Muppet Flophouse. Mm-hmm. Because the Muppet Flophouse, you honestly believe that at least I did, I honestly believe that all of the Muppets live together in that house, and it's disgusting, and I hate it, and I could never live there. And it does not feel like, oh, there are people moving puppets around in this little set. It does not feel that way at all. It literally feels like it's a flop house, and it sucks, and I hate it.
It's so impressive that I wish they could just take like the dad from that Alf show and make him step in that house so it'd have some flashbacks.
That'd be the worst, dude. He'd have a conniption right there. Just like there's a prawn making food.
And yesterday when I was watching this show and they're having our introduction to the Flophouse, the whole time I'm watching it, I say, I know that Sean hates this as much as I do, because I cannot stand to spend more the chaos. I am not a chaos person.
Nor I. No, Pepe. No, don't.
And ironically,
with the sink, Pepe. No.
Ironically, I married someone who that's probably her dream situation.
Well, with all the Muppets, but they do the great thing in this that is the magic of the Muppets. Is, like you said, Sean, making you believe that they're actual characters, making you believe that these are beings and not a puppet with somebody's hand up it. You don't watch Gonzo's performance and go like, oh, that's a puppeteer. That's Gonzo, dude. It's so weird, but like they really make you believe that. And the bear that's talking with Tambor and everything, we'll get to him, but like you just love every second of it because it feels like we're watching people interact with these Muppets. And that's why the Muppet Show worked as well as it did, because it was that human interaction and stuff that made these things real beings that were in the world.
And a lot of diversity in puppet styles with the Muppets. I mean, you got people like Sweetums, which is Jim Henson in the whole suit walking around next to puppets, next to real people. You got the Swedish chef where he's got the human hands coming up through. I mean, they find new and creative things and they don't get lazy, and it keeps your eyes kind of like looking, oh, this puppet's got this kind of thing going on and this one's got that. And I never for a minute find myself like I will sometimes sitting back and trying to picture where everybody's at and how they're making this happen. I don't usually do that with the Muppets, but I mean, the Muppets are like, they are the major leagues of puppeteering. I mean, you know, they don't have to like negotiate. Are you going to come with the Muppets or are you going to stay with this, you know, with this lamb chop crap over here? No, you get a call from the Muppets. You say yes. Of course they're going to be awesome.
I have an acquaintance that has worked on Sesame Street. He literally started in production, and then like maybe 2 years into production, he started working at Sesame Street. He is an AD on Sesame Street. He's been doing it for 30 years. I'll give you one guess if he regrets working at Sesame Street.
I'm going to say
one
no.
guess. That is correct.
I mean, other than I think they've kind of got shut down this year, didn't they? The Children's Television Workshop.
Children's Television Workshop sort of kind of did, but there is so much money behind them just already that it's not like they shuttered the doors. I mean,
the whole thing with the Sesame Street situation kind of confuses me. Like when it went to HBO from public broadcast, like that is such a big money property. They should just be able to pick their spot. So, I don't understand some aspects, but I think they are actually devoted to the educational aspect and not just the financial, which is awesome.
The Children's Television Workshop is literally for that, is to promote education.
And the other stuff just all comes down to dumb streaming rights and all this kind of bull crap that like shouldn't matter in cases like this, but unfortunately ends up doing so.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's just so much archived episodes. Even if you never made a new episode, it's still worth sharing with kids, man, even the old stuff.
Yeah,
I think it is. I haven't watched it in a while.
That's why I always say I don't know why we need to make more of these things. We have 60 years worth of them. How about some reruns, fellas? I don't know that ABCs are going to be changing too awful much.
I was going to say,
give me that sweet Rita Moreno era. I really liked watching her on there in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
I can remember being a kid and they would replay 90% of the episode that you had seen previously. Like, oh, it's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like they're doing all that again today. And they probably reran that for 25 years. So every day.
Oh, yeah. They're like, hey, this kicks ass. We're rolling it again. We got the rights to it.
Of course.
Play it again, Sam.
One of the smart things is they filmed everything as standalone segments and then they could remix them so it felt fresh when they did the reruns.
It's kind of the sad thing about Saturday Night Live when they brought in Jim Henson that first season, because he's used to that. He knew what that was, and everybody who worked at Saturday Night Live was like, "No, thank you, no, thank you. We want to do all the drugs and we want to be counterculture. We don't want to be that kind of counterculture,
Weird puppet shows with like people wearing black suits and whatever the hell this is. What's going on here?"
Yeah.
But hey, he took that experience to the BBC and got us the Muppet Show, which is the best Muppet-based sketch comedy show I've ever seen.
It is.
High hill to climb there for sure. So Gonzo, this is all kind of Gonzo's movie here and everything. What were you guys' thoughts on Gonzo just as a character? I think he's got to be at least everybody's, one of their top favorite Muppets for sure.
You're either a Gonzo guy or a Grover guy. Those are the only two choices.
This is surprising. Literally, no one. My favorite Muppet is Bert, but
and I am a natural born Ernie. That's our problem.
Hey, what's the problem? Yeah, no, you know what? Things are really starting to add up here.
But I like Gonzo. I am more of a Grover guy, but I do like the character, and I do like that whenever they need something on the show, making him the main character, I don't know how much I love that part, because the thing I love about Gonzo is if you need to shake things up, just throw that character into something and something crazy is going to happen, because that's what he does. He's chaos.
He's the wild card. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Gonzo's like the Joker. And when I say that, I mean, I think he's best without an origin story. A whole lot of the fun of Gonzo is just, what the heck is he?
Yeah.
So I think one of my biggest problems with this movie is that they gave us a definitive answer on what Gonzo is. And I've got to know, is this movie canon? Like, is this canon? Like, is Gonzo an alien, or is that just after this movie nobody mentions?
So what you're asking is at the end of this, is the top still spinning for
I just got to know, is this canon? This is like a Star Wars argument.
I love this, and I'll play. I love this question.
Matt says it is in the chat. So
I love this question. I totally want to play this game. I think that it probably has to be, just because they put forth the effort to give you this. And so you can either choose to use it or not. Like your favorite comic book writer of all time, Bruce, sometimes he would just, be writing a story and go, I don't like any of this. I'm just going to change this. And I think that you can do that with the Muppets as well.
That's very true. Very true. Also, another question, though, if this is canon, I didn't expect my science fiction story to open up with a Bible story. You know, like it starts out with Noah and the ark. So if this is canon, number one, is Gonzo like this immortal being? Is he this creature that's wandered the earth for thousands of years?
I did
Is
think about
the
that
same
when
Gonzo.
He did, yes.
When they opened it up, that was my thought. I was just like, oh, because I hadn't seen this movie. I'm like, is Gonzo an eternal being and was around during the flood and everything? I was like, yeah, that was an interesting. But I'm glad to see that it was just a dream. And after that dream, I was like, Sean is already pissed.
I wasn't pleased with the dream. I'm not going to lie to you. But I thought I got two thoughts here. One is after you see F. Murray Abraham as Noah, and then the entire movie plays out. At the end of the movie, when the spaceship comes back, it has a little bit of an arc look to it, and I was like, F. Murray Abraham's getting out of that ship.
Oh, that would have been so good.
I really thought so. And number two, have I told you guys my F. Murray Abraham story?
No,
I
like
think
I'd
I remember
that.
if you had.
Oh,
Not everybody's got one of those.
It's so good, man. So F. Murray Abraham, I'm wearing a Red Sox jersey, and I'm giving F. Murray Abraham as much space as I possibly can, because he's F. Murray Abraham.
He's got one of those faces, that you just want to like. I give that man his space. Yeah.
And so I don't want to mess with him. I hadn't worked with him enough to know, is this guy method? I don't know any of that, right? But he comes up to me and he goes, let me ask you something. Are you actually a Red Sox fan? And I said, yes. And he goes, let me ask you something. Do you know what the betting line was in the 8th inning when the Red Sox were down to the Yankees and then Ortiz hits that home run? Do you happen to know what that betting line was? And I was like, I can look it up for you, Murray. I'm not sure, but I'll look it up for you. So I look it up, and it's some ridiculous number. Like the Red Sox were supposed to lose that game, and like the number is like 1,000 to 1. Like if you put down, basically, this is what, when I learned this, I say to Murray, I'm like, this is what this is. And he goes, you wouldn't put $1,000 down. No one would do that. But you might put $100 down on that. that could change your year.
Yeah, so $100,000.
And he's and we're literally like this, like face to face like this, right? And so I'm talking to him, and then he finally leaves after that. And I turn around, and the director of photography goes, what were you and Murray just talking about? And I said, I swear to God, I said this. I said, Salieri was asking me about betting on the Red Sox.
That's a great story.
And he heard me.
It's even better. Hey, pretty good in that movie, wasn't I? We're like, yeah, you were. You really were.
Yeah. So that's my F. Murray Abraham story.
It was so much fun to see, even if it was just a little mini cameo there, and with the name Abraham and everything. It's almost too perfect.
I know, it's too good. You got to use it.
But yeah, the flop house and all that kind of good stuff. Now, I don't know if when his first introduction was in here, but Kevin Clash's new kind of Rasta character that I don't know what his kind of deal is. I don't know if I hate or love this character. Like, part of me likes him at some point.
That? Which one are you talking about?
It's the one that they ask if he's an alien, and he says no, but I like their vibes.
He's got the shades and the dreads hair. It's like he's a Rasta guy.
Is he a member of the Electric Mayhem? I thought it was a member.
No, he's not actually, because the Electric Mayhem is out doing a bar mitzvah of all things.
Yeah,
I love that.
Which I
love the stupid jokes that the Muppets do. They do really get my sense, and they've all got yarmulkes on and stuff. I don't know that the Muppets would make that joke today, but I liked it when I watched it yesterday.
It was funny. They just kind of like
would. I think they still would.
I just never know now.
Kind of the secret sauce with the Muppets is that it's kind of like they're kind of like Nate Bargatze, where like they're hitting on topics that aren't dirty topics. But it could be taken in the wrong context sometimes, where like Nate Bargatze's never said anything untoward, and neither have the Muppets, but they definitely have a foot in that sort of world. And that's how I feel about it. Like they, you know, the Jason Segel movie, they do the Swedish chef is doing music, and it's the and it's the Forget You song, except there's also the other version of Forget You,
right?
You know, and the Muppet is, because you can't understand what he's saying, he's singing the song and you don't know which version he's singing. And that's the level of Muppet joke where that feels like Nate Bargatze to me, where it's like, you know what I'm saying, but I could be saying the other thing too.
You know, who's to say what I'm saying, to be honest?
Who knows what I'm saying? And that's what I love about it.
Plausible deniability. That is the MO of the Muppets.
And that's why I think that there's nothing untoward about going to a bar mitzvah. It's weird, but it's not something that it's not something that's going to offend a single person.
But it's such a strange one-off joke that that again, we come over to Dr. Teeth and everybody just smiling and like that, like 3 notes. Yeah. And then we move on. And that's the kind of stuff that I actually really like and admire about this movie, is the lengths that they will go through for bullcrap jokes.
Yeah.
It's that tells me that you care, at least to a degree that you care. When Gonzo is like riding on his lawnmower there and everything, you had to design that, you had to engineer that and make sure that happens. Now, granted, they've had
everything about that scene.
25 years worth of Muppets doing wild shit to pull from and everything, but they still do it with like really great ease here. And again, making you think that this little purple guy is riding a lawnmower. Man, it's great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Sean, you mentioned
No, go ahead.
Sean, you mentioned a phrase I want to circle back to. You said plausible deniability, and it made me think of an actual thought I wanted to bring up, and I want to see what you guys think. But Gonzo has the dream with Noah. He gets struck by lightning and talks to the cosmic fish. Through a lot of this, I think that they were keeping enough plausible deniability that I was worried we weren't going to get any kind of aliens, that this was all just going to be Gonzo's delusion and he's going to have to just still be a mystery on what he is, which I like the idea of.
Is it just me or is it everyone?
No,
Gonzo being a mystery, but I don't like the idea of not giving Muppets some space.
You're blinking in and out, Bruce, but I know what you're talking about here. You're talking about plausible deniability, and you're talking about with the plot itself. And I think that's the point of this movie, is that you have to believe there is a chance that Gonzo is crazy. And whether or not that works for you as a viewer is totally up to you. Like, I could totally see if we're at the beginning of the third act of this movie and you still don't know if the aliens are coming down or not, if you've never seen this movie before, right? And I think that there's a real chance, at least for me, there was a real chance that ship isn't showing up. And because it's Gonzo, it makes sense. But looking at it, like I literally thought to myself, if this movie is called Muppets from Space and no Muppets from Space show up,
that's gonna be bad.
There is no way I wouldn't have heard about it, 20 years ago.
That's exactly, though, the thought I was having when I was glitching out and trying to share, is that I would feel ripped off if there were no Muppets from Space in my Muppets from Space movie.
Are the Muppets from Space disappointing? Absolutely. Those things are so disappointing when they show up. And yes, I get it's a big musical number, and Sean don't like no musical number, but it's not just that. There's other things too where it's like,
I did not.
Okay, good.
I did not enjoy the payoff. I felt a little disappointed with the payoff, and I think that's another big part of why I, in particular, didn't find this to be a good Muppet-based film.
Bruce,
think
they had different noses on the Gonzo characters in the ship, dude. A couple of them had like deep ass, like what's his face from Soul Train there, like he had a lot of those voices and stuff. Like you didn't. Come on, man. They had backup singers.
There is a lot of like. It just felt like, I know what you're saying when you said at the top of the show, Bruce Leslie, that like that it seemed sort of half-assed, this movie, but I think that's the part that feels half-assed. It's not a half-assed thing. It's when you're so used to the people at All Things Muppets being hyper creative, you expect, the most creative thing we're going to see is when the ship lands and what comes out of that ship.
Could have been so much fun.
Right. And it just isn't. It's just, this is just knockoff Gonzo.
We have knockoff Gonzos, and we do a little, a little Cool in the Gang, and then you're done. And it's like, okay. I mean, I guess he's got family and stuff now.
You know what it felt like? This is literally what it felt like. It felt like the in the movie, in the screenplay, there's probably someone super famous who gets off of that ship with the other Gonzos, and they just couldn't book that person.
What if Michael Jackson got off?
That's what I'm saying. Whether it's Michael Jackson, whether it's David Bowie, somebody who would make sense coming off of the ship, and they just couldn't land that person, whoever that person.
That would have been cool. But they wouldn't at 99. No chance either one of those are popping out for 99.
Richard Dreyfuss. They were really holding out for Dreyfuss.
That'd be funny, but and Lord knows Richard Dreyfuss, I'm sure, thinks he could sing. So there's that part too.
He is Mr. Holland, But right. I heard you mention a couple times that this was a dead zone for the Muppets. This was kind of a weird time. Mm-hmm. I'd argue perhaps this movie is the reason that this was the dead zone for the Muppets. This kind of killed the franchise. This was 1999, and nothing would happen with the Muppets for 12 years after this. I think
it's really 12 years, really?
Yeah, it really killed it. Disney bought them 5 years later and still didn't do anything till 2011. So I think that you could say this is kind of like that Batman and Robin. This is the movie that killed a franchise that seemed like it was going to go on forever.
I like how Frank Oz was just like, we weren't too pleased with that. And you want to be like, fool, you didn't show up for half of this shoot. What are you even talking about?
What is he directing? His excuse for not being there is that he was busy directing something, but I don't know what he directed.
If it's 99, it feels like Inside Out or whatever the gay movie was. What's it called?
It's either that or Multiplicity, right?
Yeah, something around. That sounds about that area.
Because I didn't know but I knew that he wasn't involved because he was directing something, but he did do Kermit's voice, in post.
Not Kermit, but, all the other ones that he did. But
yeah. The voices he does. I don't know who does what. I apologize.
But yeah, it's okay. It's fine enough for what it is. But like, save for a couple of voices here and there, and like, when Statler and Waldorf get their kind of thing on, it's just like, we're just not. There's a couple that are like, gosh. They're okay, but they're just not quite the same. And there is part of that, like without those key members here and everything, it's gonna fall off a bit.
I agree with you. I think it's one of the rare instances where, because I think that they've totally locked in with Kermit, like they've got the guy for Kermit now, but there's something off with Statler and Waldorf. Mm-hmm. Where the voice just isn't the same when it's not Jim Henson.
And they're just such an important aspect of the show to me, too. So it throws everything off if they're off. They're like the bass guitar.
That's a big one.
Can we get to the best part of this movie? We haven't even talked about.
I want to hear what it is.
We barely talked about him yet.
Yeah, I think I know.
You already know.
Heck yeah.
Bobo.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, Bobo and Jeffrey Tambor. It's like the combo, man. Those two together, beautiful.
Man, I didn't know it could happen where a Muppet could actually like act off of an actor, and the actor's performance is dictated by what the Muppet is doing. Jeffrey Tambor, that should just tell you how superb of an actor he is. That he actually has chemistry with this Muppet, and like it's incredible. And just like when you're watching Bobo again, I didn't know his name until last week. When you're watching Bobo and just how subtle an acting performance that is, he has little asides when he talks. He has pitch perfect timing. It happens again and again where the funniest moment in the movie is like 6 different moments with Bobo, man. It is incredible. And every time I see a new Muppet show up, right? Whether it's the Kevin Clash character, the Rasta character that I'm kind of iffy on.
Yeah.
And I get that Rizzo is like a child favorite, like the kids love them.
I like Rizzo.
Rizzo wasn't around when I was a kid, so I'm not a super fan of him. I think he's pretty damn funny in Muppet Christmas Carol, though. But I generally find him kind of annoying. But Bobo, man, when Bobo shows up, it's like, look, I will take 1,000 Kevin Clash's Rasta character if we can get one Bobo. Bobo saved the movie for me. This movie is something where, like, I'm not gonna suggest people run out and watch this if you haven't seen it, but watch a supercut of Bobo in this movie for sure.
Yeah,
because he is the best part of this movie, man. And him and Jeffrey Tambor together, it just elevates the entire movie.
I just personally like Rizzo because I love the concept that the Muppets are referencing Midnight Cowboy.
I love how there are so many just like, it may actually just be all the rats, but like there's just so many over the top New York stereotype characters that it's just, I love it so much because I also know some people that are kind of a little over the top stereotype characters. I'm like, yeah, in a way that is true.
Who is the green skinned Italian guy? I don't think I knew him as a Muppet.
He looked familiar, but I couldn't place it.
He kind of talked like a Robert De Niro character, and he looked more like a Sesame Street than a Muppet.
Yeah, definitely. That said, though, isn't it weird when we come across, and there's several of them in this one, where we have the more, what I'll call more human type Muppets? I find those disturbing.
What's the point? Yeah, if I want to see a human, I can see humans talk all day long. I want to see a frog talk, I need a Muppet.
Like the one that stands out is the kid with the glasses, like the white kid with the glasses and the big giant eyeballs and stuff that's always doing one of those. Yeah. I'm like, what is this? What is this freakazoid character over here in the background? You don't even have any lines or anything, but God bless him, he's moving around and shaking, and you're just going, what's wrong with that kid?
Look, and if we're getting rid of the more human type Muppets, we're leaving out Fat Blue, right?
Which one's that one?
Fat Blue is the one that Grover is constantly making his life a living hell.
Oh no, you got to keep that guy. That guy's amazing.
That guy's the best.
I love him so much.
I offer this up. If you're going to do humans, do them like Electric Mayhem style. Like Dr. Teeth, I think is human, but he's cool enough. I'll go with it. And like the big skinny lady that's
you just making here's a Caucasian puppet, and you're like, what is this? This is weird.
That is the weirdest way you could possibly say that.
Hello, I'm White Larry, the Caucasian puppet.
So you guys want to know what Frank Oz was working on in 1999?
Please.
I'm totally fine with the fact that he couldn't do Muppets from Space. A little movie called Bowfinger. Done and done.
Bowfinger is like 10 times the movie this is. Come on now.
Yes, please. Bowfinger. Frank, you spend all the time you need on Bowfinger, man. That movie is great.
I've never seen it.
Oh, man. Do yourself the largest of favors.
We got to take those Lakers cheerleaders down a peg or two. Oh,
man, what a classic. Again, Tambor playing things straight all the time and just so perfectly doing it. And like he knew the assignment coming in and he just destroys. What a great job.
Think about this, right? Think about how great he is in this versus how unbelievably bad Steve Martin is in the Looney Tunes movie, where it's like Looney Tunes and Brendan Fraser and Jenna Elfman, and Steve Martin is the bad guy in that. And think about how awful, and I love Steve Martin, but think about just how awful he is in that. He's so bad. And then you juxtapose with the job that Jeffrey Tambor is doing, where he literally like, I just want to keep hanging out with the bad guy because he's so good.
Yeah.
And of course it's the love of Bobo. I'm not going to lie. I know. But there is the fact of like, he is he is bad, but he's not so bad that you think he's going to murder everyone.
Exactly.
He is a bad person.
He's not really murdering everybody. He's just being a bad
He's a
dude.
Muppet villain, not a Bond villain.
Exactly.
One of my favorite bits with Bobo is the retinal scanner and him popping out of there with the giant eyeballs. Like, oh, jeez.
Oh,
so much fun.
God, it's so good.
But the sincerity of the character is what makes him so funny. Yeah. He's so sincere in every, like he's talking to Jeffrey Tambor. He wants to be his buddy. He wants to be his friend. He wants to try to impress him here and everything. And he wants to do right. But at the same time, too, he also is like, oh, I don't want to hear that noise. And accidentally, what a great, fun little character that I think but having him match up with Tambor and everything makes staying with the villain such a pleasure.
And the noise that comes out of Bobo when the retinal scanner happens is so understated because it's a Muppet. You want to do something huge. And so when he gets zapped, when his eyeballs get zapped by that retinal scanner, he's like, oh, like it's like not even like a big deal. It's so good
because he wants to keep face and look like he's fine with Tambor. Like he's just like, listen, no, everything's cool. I'm fine. I'm 100% professional with this. Jesus Christ.
I love the way that the way he had to slow roll telling Tambor that his car was impounded. How he told me to take care of those tickets for your car. Yeah, well, your car is impounded.
That's the perfect timing you were talking about. So it's just on point and it's absolutely perfect. Tambor playing off of him. It's just beautiful.
So I've got to say it. Where the hell's our Bobo movie?
Yeah, Bobo goes to
Maybe
something or other.
What's on the horizon? Bobo's big day at the office.
Bobo literally saved this movie.
Yeah, they're 100%. And okay, we were talking about it last week, just a slight little bit here, and we haven't quite mentioned him here. So Bruce, I want to get your reassessment now. You were not a King Prawn fan. How now say you?
I think I'm okay with Pepe the King Prawn.
He was fine in this one. I've come to like his appearances and things later, like if he shows up on the Today Show for whatever reason.
Yes.
But he's like the only cat there, and he's always being like slightly sexual and a little bit like it's so fun.
Yeah.
I think I like the way he's got that game with the ladies, man. Yeah. I think that I enjoy the way he's got a head on a swivel, as you say. He's always checking out
that
talent.
Latin lover thing to where you can kind of be like a little bit creepy, but it's like, oh, it's just him. Give him a break. Just Pepe. He's
care
fine.
to join us in the jacuzzi?
Mm-hmm. That's also one of my favorite bits. Is they're just like, we need to convince him that the aliens want to build a jacuzzi just for them.
I'm impressed with the quality of jacuzzi that Gonzo's able to build.
Why? He's a stagehand. Of course he can.
It's $100,000 worth of construction done for this jacuzzi.
Hey,
it's so
remember,
great.
guys, I made this jacuzzi for my alien family, so no eating. It's so funny.
Everyone's eating and lounging. There's a gajillion people there. That's why when you watch it, it's just like, man, the logistics of having everything together and like a jillion puppets going, what angles are we going to? Where are we editing? That, like, I can't even imagine the massive amount of headache that this thing has to be. And like I said, even despite them kind of losing a lot of key members and stuff like that, and maybe we're not at the highest of game for everything here, but man, oh man, they're still pushing it far better than I would imagine them having, their fearless leader gone.
I was pleasant, like I said at the beginning, I was very pleasantly surprised by this. This was something that I thought I was going to have to endure, and it's not that.
No, it's not the best, but it's not the worst either. No,
right? It's a middle of the road Muppet movie, and that's okay. Like, being a middle of the road Muppet movie, that is nothing to be ashamed of.
You could be a crummy Muppet movie. You don't want that, so
right.
That's the alternative, I suppose.
And so one of the things, though, that I just want to rapid fire some things with you specifically, Portress, but right. Bruce Leslie, I'd like to hear you talk about this too, which is that, like, the cameos.
Oh, yes.
Right? Because we got a lot of them. And I'm wondering what your take is on the cameos.
I think they're fine.
So let me just go through the list here.
Okay.
All right. So first of all, I'm asking you specifically, Portress, when Kathy Griffin shows up, what was your reaction?
Oh boy. I think those were the words. I was just like, oh, here comes Kathy. And honestly, I think she was great. Like this is what, the kind of bullcrap role that she's good at playing and stuff like that. Pop in for a couple of minutes, waving around a little bit and have a couple quick laughs, and then you're a piece on out. That's the kind of Kathy Griffith roles I enjoy.
I was still fine with Kathy Griffin in '99. I think it's a little bit past then when I started to get maybe not as enthused about her.
When her entire career is just talking trash about more famous celebrities.
It got tiring.
Me too. When Hulk Hogan shows up, better or worse than his when he shows up in Gremlins 2?
It's not as good as Gremlins 2, but there's something that's magical about this Hulk Hogan cameo, because it is right at that time. Now, again, I'm 17, and while you're 17, you're still allowed to watch wrestling legally, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, and being from the South and everything, we were WCW fans more so than WWF fans.
So you're in Charlotte.
Yeah, so when Hulk Hogan came over to the WCW, big deal there. When he turned heel, oh my Lord, it was insane. What a crazy time that was. And like, it felt like, wow, we are really in a new kind of era. The all-American hero here is now turned heel, and he's a bad guy. And we very much address that in this show. We call him Hollywood all the time for Hollywood Hulk Hogan, the little beard and everything. And he even just like, what do you want from me? I turned heel. It's like, there's so much fun about that cameo. I love it. Not as good as Gremlins 2, but a damn close second.
I'm with you there, Adam, that it's not as good as Gremlins 2, but it is a great cameo. And here's the magic why I think it works is, for me at least, Hulk Hogan is like exactly that kind of celebrity that used to be featured on the old original Muppet Show. Yep. When they would have things like Mark Hamill drop in or Sylvester Stallone drop in and pretend to be Rocky. I could have seen if Hulk Hogan, if his career had been big about 6 years sooner, he would have had his Muppet Show episode. And that would have probably been a lot of fun. So he just sort of felt like a little bit of a throwback to what I liked about that original Muppet Show.
That is an excellent point.
Bret the Hitman Hart.
That is a great, because there would be a Muppet wrestler. There'd be like Miss Piggy trying to hit on the beefcakes, like all of that stuff, like all of that would happen. It's great. David Arquette, any thoughts?
David Arquette, given 100%, love it. Mm-hmm. He's David Arquette, but like, again, he came in knowing what his assignment was. You're playing crazy, scientist who experiments on rats, go bananas, and he does. And again, he's also like, he's acting with the animals, you know what I'm saying? And like, you buy it.
He is.
I think he's fine, but there's, 50 people could have done that particular cameo. I don't know that. I don't get much pop.
Only Arquette could do this. You know that.
I guess this is right around when Scream's still huge. So Arquette's he's probably a little more fun in 99.
It's literally Scream time. 99. Ray Liotta, any thoughts?
Great
he's
stuff.
Always good. Yeah, I always like Ray, especially. He's another guy that's acting. Liotta's a Liotta actor. He gives you Ray Liotta, but when he kind of gets sprayed or when he pauses for a minute to think before he responds to Miss Piggy, I'm enjoying the fact that he is giving it just as much enthusiasm as he did for Goodfellas.
Yeah,
he is really good. I was surprised by how good he is in this. Like, he totally. It's another moment just like Jeffrey Tambor, where like, oh, I know exactly what they're looking for, so I'm going to nail that thing that they're looking for.
And he still looks like he walked off the Goodfellas set 2 seconds ago. He looks exactly the same. And he's going for this kind of like, when they need me for this acerbic kind of guy that I'm used to, playing and everything, and then turn that little, that notion of me on a dime and have me be this super polite, over the top kind of smiley dude. Great juxtaposition. Good job. Fantastic casting.
Pretty great. We've already talked about F. Murray Abraham, so I'm saving the best for last. When he shows up, Rob Schneider, when he shows up in this, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking great, because like, this is the type of role that Rob Schneider just excels at, is this kind of greaseball who's just kind of nonstop talking and stuff like that, and is a bit of a jerk, always just very squishy morals, will do whatever he needs to do to get to the next thing. I love when he plays roles like this. mustache and
Rob
everything,
Snyder-
beautiful.
Rob Snyder's like cilantro. I'm just glad they didn't overdo it. He can really bring a project down if he's not kept under control.
Oh no, he could. This role could have gone a lot worse for sure. He could have gone a lot more over the top and stuff. But I think he hits it just right. That kind of just slimy enough and whatnot, but not too Schneidery, if you will.
What it reminds me of is when Snyder isn't the main character in a Happy Madison production.
Mm-hmm.
When he's just some side character in an Adam Sandler movie, he's totally serviceable and fine. As a matter of fact, he's better than that. We suck again. That guy.
You can do it. That kind of guy. So good. It's great.
We heard you can do it for 20 years from the first time he said it. He is good at that thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just surprised that he kind of eschewed all that. I'm a main character. He probably would have had a career. He would have had a career forever if he would have just done 15 minutes on the Muppet Movie kind of role. That's great.
Yeah, just be that kind of guy that comes in and knocks it out of the park for a scene or two, and then you're good.
And everybody keeps talking about how much they love you. They think you're great.
Yeah, it's it's the way to kind of work if you can in Hollywood. I would say it's just you work short little bits here. You're not there for super long. People know you. People like you. See you popping up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And of course, we got one more. Yeah.
Oh, Josh Charles.
Well, that one.
Andy McDowell.
I was thinking Andy McDowell.
Andy McDowell. Yes, Andy McDowell. Kind of given some Miss Piggy energy. I think she's stealing her bit a little bit, which is okay.
I do like that. Miss Piggy is selling herself as this kind of very important person and everything, and we meet her as hey, here's me on the news and blah blah blah, and she's just the coffee girl, and I love that little bit. I always love Miss Piggy having this really big delusions of grandeur, and her actual real life and everything is she's much further down the totem pole than she would suspect she was. I love that about Miss Piggy.
In 1999, nobody has their finger on the pulse like people trying to give us a working girl storyline.
But again, not knowing anything, just kind of always going, head first into everything. I want to be the star. I want to be the person that's important. Boy, I love that about Piggy's character. It's just so great.
You left out a cameo, though, because there's also the Katie Holmes, Joshua Jackson thing.
Oh, yes.
Oh, right. Right. I forgot about that.
Well, yeah, they were uncredited, but I was not a Dawson's Creek watcher, so I couldn't give you a whole lot of interpretation.
I didn't watch, but they were all my age, and and Katie Holmes, come on, let's the 1990 17 that makes nothing but sense for me. But it's apparently they were shooting in an adjacent. I guess they shot this in North Carolina, so this was an adjacent studio that they were just kind of working on. And said, "Hey, kids, come over here and you want to be in a Muppet movie?" And of course, they're like, "Yeah, I'd like to be in a Muppet movie."
They shot this in Wilmington. I didn't.
I guess so, because that's what the IMDb says. At least that's where they were.
Maybe just that scene because they had to go somewhere with a cape and a lighthouse and stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know that all that was location.
Well, I could see where maybe they
Muppetized.
I could see where maybe they just went to Wilmington for the for the scene where the aliens arrive or something.
That's really cool. I didn't know that.
I did like all the space stuff, like what little bits of space we got with the fish. That's a little bit silly and fun, but while maybe not a ton of space, enough of the space was good enough, I think.
Yeah,
I got a question for you about the space fish.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the one that had an Indian accent.
They kind of were, but kind of weren't, because I kept looking and I kept listening, and I was trying to kind of are they doing that? And sometimes you say yes, sometimes you say no. It is that thing that's a little on the edge. Okay,
because I was trying to figure out the accent, and the best I could come up with was Indian. And
it's kind of close to that, but it's not exactly that. But I don't know that it's a bad Indian impression. It just seems like it's kind of. They tried to amalgamate a whole bunch of things, I feel like, and they did an okay enough job, but not enough so that you don't at least question, is that an Indian accent that you're doing, at least a little bit, because we all clearly did.
It clearly wasn't Harry Shearer, I'll tell you
that. Any other kind of things before we kind of wrap it up?
The only other thing is they owe greatly to not only Close Encounters, but that ship scene from the pilot of Greatest American Hero.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, even the shot composition, how they're shooting that is very Greatest American Hero shots. You know, the from just over the ship. You know, like that kind of thing. Looking back up at the ship, like it's almost shot for shot the same thing.
And the last thing I'll say is I was very taken out of the movie with the video quality, the graphic quality, the quality of the images when the serial letters were spelling things out. Because in this movie, with all these wonderful practical effects, that looked really out of place.
They're like, listen, we do puppets, not stop motion. Get out of here. What do you want from us?
That's what I think. I think they used like Sesame Street level stop motion for that probably, and I just found it quaint and cool.
Yeah, it looked fun enough, and for what they were doing of like, and again, you were thinking maybe Gonzo's crazy, maybe this is a message from space and stuff like that. So the weird kind of jazz, works well enough for it, I guess.
I like the talking sandwich,
but of course you did.
Yeah, this talking sandwich was pretty great.
Good stuff with it. Just like, I'm gonna feel weird. I'm gonna leave. Don't worry about it. And like he's just not like he's waiting to the last second just to figure out if this sandwich is still there or not. It's so stupid but fun. I love it. Speaking of things I love, again, you mentioned how we don't have a lot of the kind of standard Muppet songs, if you will. Certainly not sleepy and weepy kind of things. But we're definitely a more funk-based Muppets, which I thought was interesting. What an interesting choice of mostly kind of funk and sort of songs and stuff. It could be a lot worse. It could have pulled a lot of things other than the other stuff that was going around in 1999. You didn't want to hear Ace of Base or anything like that.
Base.
Yeah. Well, I saw the sign in this. Yeah, you don't want that, or maybe you do. I don't know. We didn't see that cut. All right, let's get down to it, boys. Bruce, what is your rating for Muppets from Space from 1999?
Well, I'll just start off by saying that like movies with Muppets are sort of difficult to rate because you're either a Muppet person or you're not, So like no matter if you're not a Muppet person, there's nothing that's going to make you see this movie. But even if you are a Muppet person, the movie's got some drawbacks. I mean, this was a franchise killer. So I can't rate this one very highly. I don't like Gonzo having a backstory. I wanted more space. I would have rather had them do a little galaxy quest where they go up in space and have to help the aliens overcome some kind of like conflict. That'd have been cool. But anyway, it's like I wanted a bowl of soup and they gave me a sandwich. So it's not really fair because I'm rating a sandwich on soup-based rating system.
But they gave you a talking sandwich. I'm sorry, one more time. I had to get the joke in. You're great.
2.5 stars. The talking sandwich got it an extra half star. 2.5 stars.
Sean?
For me, it's a 3.5 star job. I like the movie. It's not something I would recommend to people, even for people who are like, I'm really into the Muppets because they've already seen it. But it's one of those things where I was like, oh, this is like, I was pleasantly surprised by this because I didn't have to endure the movie. It was just something where it's just a pleasant time. It's not long.
Yeah.
There's nothing in it that you're like, oh, Jesus, like I can't listen to this anymore. There's nothing about that with the Muppets either. It's just like, it's fine. Like it's not, and I don't mean that in a dismissive way. It's one of those things where like, is it a lesser Muppet movie? Yes. But you try watching the original Muppet movie all the way through and tell me how easy a watch that is.
Yeah.
This is a much easier watch than that is now.
Yeah, we're rocking 88 minutes with this, and we got a lot of songs and a lot of different scenes and stuff like that. So even if you're just kind of not digging a particular scene or something like that, wait 2 minutes. We're going on to something else because they got enough, cooking for you in this that like if you go like, oh, that joke didn't hit, don't worry, there's 3 more down the road.
It's true, and that is one of the things that I do like about this movie is that the Muppets has always been joke dense. To the point where when something doesn't land and it's just the most terrible joke you've ever heard, 2 seconds later, something's coming where that like, oh, you didn't like that one? Here's another one. Oh, you didn't like that one? Here's another one. Like it just happens. It is a rapid fire joke machine.
They're good like that.
They are.
For me, I'm going to go 3 out of 5 stars on this. It's just it's very solid. It's a very good time.
I liked it more than you.
I think so, maybe.
I'm surprised by that.
I might watch it again. Like I could see it going up a second, upon another viewing and stuff like that, because I kind of know what to expect this time, and maybe just lean it. Not that I wasn't, mind you, but it leans more so even into the love of the Bobo scenes and stuff, because I did not know how much of that we would get, and boy, oh boy, we got boatloads and so much fun. Yeah. What a great little guy. Yeah,
that is one of the things I wanted to talk about. This is what this movie is like. Is that I have seen every scene with Bobo in it. I knew every scene that he was in, like I remembered it. I don't ever remember seeing this movie, but I had to have because this is the Bobo movie.
I love that anecdote.
So I had to have seen this, but I don't remember a damn thing about it except for Bobo.
Man's been running Bobo blind his entire
the character.
Life.
It's such a strange coincidence.
Well, that is it, everybody. We got another space movie under our belts here, but would you know it, we got yet another one coming along the lines here, because boys and girls, it is a big time. Did you know that 30 years ago, Ron Howard, one of the most celebrated directors of his era or whatever, directed Apollo 13, and it is the 30th anniversary of that, and it is coming back out to IMAX screens this week, everybody. So head on out to the theaters and see a movie. If you didn't get to go see it 30 years ago on the big screen, my gosh, what a good one to see on the big screen and stuff like that. And it's out there for you now. I'm so happy that we're bringing back older films and putting them on the big screen, be it this or Jaws or some of these other ones. I'm happy they're kind of going, hey, maybe a theatrical experience means something to people.
It is really cool.
So definitely go check all of that good stuff out. In the meantime, Bruce, where can we find more of your work on the internet?
Just go check out YouTube, man. Go look for Werewolf Fighter. It's that time of year where you want something a little spooky to share with your friends and family. Well, Werewolf Fighter, that's the cure for what ails you. Just go over there, search it up. Bruce Leslie, Werewolf Fighter. Any combination of those things might get you there.
Might get you in one of those. Sean, what else?
You can go ahead and try to find me. Good luck.
He's mysterious.
Talking to you, F. Murray Abraham, trying to get back at me for my line that happened 10 years ago. Forget it. You'll never find me.
I don't care for that man. Good, F. Murray Abraham.
Killer.
Yeah, everybody. And check out, like I said, check out my SVS 5000 Revolution review video that is up on YouTube. They did me a big old favor by sending me out one of those to review, and I did a big old service by making that video. So for the love of God, go ahead and like that thing. I did a lot of work on that. So appreciate all that. And of course, join us here next week when we're talking Apollo 13 for Sweet Sean's and Kovacs from the Internet. Bruce Leslie, I'm Adam Porters, reminding you to go watch some movies and go to space.
Yeah, baby.